Rachael, thank you so much for joining me on Off the Hanger. It is very lovely to talk to you. I am super excited to have a good rummage through your wardrobe. Now, but you've just made some big life changes, haven't you? Because I saw your Instagram reel the other day saying that you are now going to be embracing a capsule wardrobe.
God, yeah, the trickiest task maybe of my entire life as a massive maximalist. I'm going to be living out of a backpack for 3 months, which will be terrifying but fun, I suppose. So, good challenge.
Exactly. It is all about the challenge. And who knows, when you get back, it might just revolutionize the way that you look at your wardrobe.
Oh my God, imagine not having, 2 wardrobes bursting full of clothes. That would actually be so much easier for me. So hopefully some of the habits stick and I don't get too sick of the packing cubes. But I've heard stories. So.
Oh, I love a packing cube. I'll hear nothing bad said of a packing cube. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. You've got to embrace the packing cubes. They'll change your life. And you've worked in the fashion industry for years, and now obviously you're a content creator as well. But were you always into fashion as a child?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I always kind of joke that my brother and sister did the serious jobs so that I could draw for a living. Really ticked it off on my parents' list. So, my brother did economics, my sister did politics. So they were like, yeah, let's give Rachael fashion. She can do that. So, always been very artistic and things. I remember drawing, when I used to go to my auntie's house, we'd have princess dress drawing competitions. And I used to play with my cousin and she used to hate it because she wasn't very artistic, but I used to love it.
And what was the perfect princess dress, may I ask?
Oh, just honestly, the bigger and the poofier, the better, to be honest. And then other kind of things that I did when I was younger, my parents owned a business together. And I remember in summer, me and my sister would have to go because they still have to work. Obviously, we're not at school. And me and my sister actually used to make dresses out of bin bags for a little fashion show for the people that work there. Obviously, they were like, what on earth is going on? But, they had to entertain us. But I remember doing that in summer. I was parading around in these little bin bags. It must have been actually hilarious to see. But
and also,
no pictures.
Quite sweaty. Quite sweaty in a bin bag in the middle of summer.
Yes. But, we got to get our kicks somehow. I think I was probably about 8 and my sister was 12. So, I can't imagine the quality being phenomenal. But
do you hang on to things in your wardrobe? What's the oldest thing that you've got?
So the oldest thing that I have is I have a coat from my grandma. I think she got that coat maybe when she was 30. And she is passed away now, but she was born in 1928 or something like that. So yeah, I've got her coat. I can show it you if you
I'd
like.
love to see.
To be honest, it's quite timeless, I think. It's just a wool burgundy coat. Her favourite colour was burgundy. And it's got these really cute buttons on them. And yeah, it's something that you could probably just have around now. But yeah, it's from an heirloom collection, which really checks out, doesn't it? So... But yeah, just a winter wool coat.
But ironically, it now is an heirloom because you have it passed down. So the label is actually correct.
Exactly. It's quite funny because my grandma was max 5'1" and I'm 5'8.5". So on her it's to the floor. To me, it's just below the knee. But
I love that you've kept it though. And do you still wear it?
I do, yeah. I like to try and bring it out maybe once a year just because it's quite a nice little memento. Whenever I wear it, I always just think, I wonder what she thinks. I wonder what she thinks of my outfit.
I'm sure she loves it. I'm sure she absolutely loves it. Do you get a lot of compliments about fashion? Because I think when you are somebody who embraces colour and print, it tends to be something that stands out a little bit from the norm. So what would you say is your most complimented piece?
So I think with my style, the girls who get it. Some people really like it, some people really don't. But the people that like it generally like the same things that I do. So it's a very weird one, this. But whenever I wear it, people love it. So It's this weird bag, right? And I got it from like a Christmas market in Poland. It's absolutely like this. I shouldn't really show this. It's actually coming apart at the seams. Me, a fashion designer, could fix this, but just hasn't. And yeah, my friend from Scotland always calls it my sporran because it looks like those weird little bags. But I don't know. It's just, yeah. Seen me through. I don't know what it is about this. Like, even just with this outfit, it's got every colour. So it goes with everything.
It's just quirky, it's fun, it's quite unusual. And I think that's what's really nice when you have something that gets a lot of compliments. It tends to be those pieces that are the everyday piece. You're never getting a compliment on your black trousers, are you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. And it's always annoying because it's always like the really rogue piece that like is one of a kind that people are like, where did you get that from? I'm like, sorry, I got it from a Polish Christmas market in 2011 or something like that. So it's ridiculous.
So good luck trying to replicate that one.
I'm like, I know this is annoying, but it is a fact.
Yeah, but I think it's equally annoying if somebody says, oh, I really love that, where's it from? And you go, it's from Zara, because they've no chance of finding that either.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't feel
so fast. There's no chance of getting those pieces unless you go, I literally bought it yesterday. So if you go to store, you might find one. Are you somebody who spends quite a lot on your wardrobe with having such a passion for fashion?
Funnily enough, no. Not. I have a few little things, but generally, I think because when I was growing up, I don't really come from particular wealth or anything like that. And in my head, if I had like £30, it wouldn't be like, I'm going to spend £30 on one thing. It would be like, okay, how many things can I get for £30? Because I want to like make as many outfits and things as possible. And it's something that's really stuck with me. That being said, I do have some more expensive things just because I worked in premium fashion for a long time and I'm very partial to a sample sale. Like, so I've got some things worth a lot that I didn't really pay a lot for. So I hope that works.
Oh, you see, you're talking my language. I am an absolute sample sale obsessive. You cannot beat a sample sale. And it just makes the things even better. The fact that it maybe was £1,200, but you've paid £100 for it. I think that
you just feel like sick with power.
Yeah.
So good.
So what is the most expensive piece in your wardrobe? Not necessarily the piece that you've paid the most for, but what would you say is the most expensive piece?
So, you know, when it's got a dust bag.
That's a good thing.
Something good. Something good. So, and this one's very niche, as is much of my wardrobe, as we've come to see. So I used to work for a brand called Ralph & Russo. It doesn't actually exist anymore. It went into administration during lockdown, but it was a ready-to-wear and couture brand, basically the same price point as brands like Chanel and things like that. So there's this bag, and when I saw it, generally, the things that I really love, when I first see them, I think, is this really ugly or is it like really fantastic? And that's how I know I love it. So it's this handbag. So it's actually black python skin.
Wow.
It never actually went into production because the price of this should have been £18,000 and it was not feasible. So this is the only one of it ever made and I paid £150 for it, which is just ridiculous. But it's one of those things like it's got no real resale value. I can't prove that it's real or anything like that because I got it at a sample sale. Nor would I want to, I don't think, just because it's quite unique. So yeah, that's
But what a special thing to have. That is incredible. And I love it. I love that it's like quirky and different, and it's got the whip stitch around the side and so cool.
If I was really good though, I would be putting tissue paper inside it, but I'm not quite that responsible. But let's just brush over that, shall we?
Well, you know, I'm sure if you think about maybe your kids or your grandkids in years and years to come, and whoever inherits that bag, that'll be the story.
Yeah.
Be like, so she had this incredible bag. It was worth this ridiculous amount of money, but did she ever put the tissue paper in it? No, she did not.
No. She loves a bit of wear and tear.
Exactly. That was not the person she was. That's an incredible find. You cannot beat a good sample sale, I don't think. And it's where the most interesting, quirky things are, the things that don't get put into production.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You can get some real, like, one-of-a-kind things.
What's the newest thing that's in your wardrobe?
So, TikTok girls got to me. I was defenseless, unfortunately. I don't know if you've seen these, but like I said, I'm going to go traveling. I'm going to go backpacking for a few months. And I was told that what I need is like a really comfy, cozy, like hoodie and sweatshirt set. And you wouldn't believe how hard that is to find, by the way. I've been scrolling the internet and then I saw this on TikTok. It's these Kaya hoodies, like the Public Desire ones, and everybody has them. So I got this one because I wanted a relative neutral for a girl like me. And I got the matching shorts. Nice. So I will be wearing this on the plane, on repeat, everywhere I go. So, and very soft, very cozy. So I've actually smashed the brief on that one, really.
Exactly. It's cool, it's stylish, but it's also practical. Yeah. Which, you know, those words don't generally go together. So you've nailed it. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
What would you say is your most sentimental piece in your wardrobe?
So I have this amazing leather jacket. Again, it's one of those things, I picked it up and I was like, this is gaudy and a bit terrifying. I love it. I have to have it. So I found Beyond Retro, which is one of my favourite vintage places, when I first moved to London. And I remember it being like the first kind of like relatively big thing that I had bought. And you'll see what I mean. It's very strange, but I just love it. It's literally this like really old vintagey jacket with these star studs. These, I don't know who did this or who decided that they wanted to like hot glue all these gems to it, but I just love it. And you can tell it's very well loved. It's literally like got holes in it, but it's the coolest fit. And it's just like the best jacket. And I just have so many like memories of when I first moved to London and like trying to figure out, you know, who I was here and things like that. And that was nearly 10 years ago. And I still reach for this all the time. And I just have so many good memories affiliated with that crazy jacket. So
do you think that your style changed when you moved to London? Because obviously I can hear in your accent, you're also a fellow northerner. And I think, especially if you're from, like, I'm from quite a small northern town. And I think if I wore the things that I wear now in that small northern town, people would think I'd lost my mind.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, I remember going home recently and my auntie was like, oh, very brave of you to wear that. And I thought, sorry, what do you mean? Brave? No, I'm not, you know, a pioneer. I was just wearing some printed trousers. I was like, okay. But yeah, definitely changed. I think literally sometimes if you're walking around in London, you could be on fire and no one would care. Like, what you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, everyone's just doing their own thing. And I think, yeah, definitely when I was in a smaller town, I still always wore like the slightly, you know, interesting outfits. But here you can wear whatever you want. Literally no one cares. So really, I think I just bolder.
Yeah, I think it gives you that kind of freedom to express yourself a little bit more. I do remember going up home to see my sister at one point, and they had this massive like vintage fur jacket on, which I love. And we got somewhere and some bloke went to me and went, oh, are you going to a wedding? I was like, no, I've got my jeans on. I just had this massive coat on because it was super warm. And he was like, oh, you look like you're going to a wedding. I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad is definitely not he thinks I've got the worst fashion sense in the world. Like, but he's just so out of touch with fashion that I'm fine with that. Yeah. I don't want him to think I've got good style because he's not really got good style, so it doesn't really matter.
I think it's those people on the days when they go, oh, you look really nice, you think, God, I've done badly here.
Yeah, I need to go and get changed.
Something's wrong with the outfit.
I always just say to him, you know, you're not the target market. This isn't for you. So, and that's fine.
What would you say is the piece in your wardrobe most sums you up?
Interestingly, I've actually shown loads of black today, which is not really me, but all of my most interesting items seem to be black. So you're probably not going to expect this one. It is a huge kind of like poofy tutu skirt, because I think it's just a bit daft and not very serious, and I hope that people would think that about me as well. So, yeah, something quite silly.
I love that. And how do you style that? What do you wear that with?
Oh, it was so funny when I first bought it. I was like, you know, when you're in the change room and you're trying to justify the purchase, it was only like 30 quid or something, but I just thought, how often am I really going to wear this? You wouldn't believe how often I've worn it. I wore it, funnily enough, for a fancy dress party. And what was the theme? I think it was like pirates or something like that, which did work. But then otherwise, I've worn it with like a t-shirt and a blazer and some trainers. But yeah, otherwise I've worn it with a t-shirt, a blazer and some trainers. And other times just worn it with like a t-shirt and like a corset on top. And I've really got my use. So I've worn it for a few New Year's Eves as well.
I love that. I love that. Now, do you have a wardrobe malfunction or a fashion faux pas that you can share? I tend to be the queen of this sort of disaster, and it just makes me feel better by asking all my guests if they want to join my club.
Oh, blessed. Well, I think in the early days when I wanted to be like, I think I knew I wanted to do something in fashion, but I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I thought that I would just like start customizing clothes. Without understanding that, you know, like if you cut a fabric, it's probably going to fray and things like that. And I used to do it with, unfortunately, my mum's clothes from a wardrobe when I was younger. And I was like, oh, these are, you know, whatever. And yeah, I remember going through a stage of just like kind of DIYing like really terrible things. And just like, I don't know, trying to improve the fit of something just by randomly like stitching things or like making it. Honestly, I unfortunately, I don't have any photos of it, but I think it's those early days of trial and error where I think I thought that I looked really cool, but factually just wasn't true. Did not look good. So
I love that. Well, you know, you were learning. We all learn from our mistakes. That's, you know, the joy of fashion. It's about learning. Do you have a favourite pair of shoes?
I do. So this may be a bit boring because I've just never been a heels girl, but I just know who I am. I'm flat-footed, unfortunately, so I do go more for comfort. But I think these are a good example. So these trainers, these are Axel Arigato marathon or trail runners, something that's ridiculously long name. But I just think they're so weird and I love them. They're a bit well worn, but I've just never seen any trainers like this where they're kind of like split half and half. And pink and red, just fantastic. So yeah, I would say these babies are my favourite.
I love them. I love them. They just sit in the rest of your wardrobe perfectly because they've got that really unique feel to them.
Yeah, and they were, to be honest, I've never bought like a designer trainer. That's kind of like halfway between. And I found it really hard to like commit to buying them because I think they were like 300, which for me, for shoes is just crazy because like I said, I don't really wear any like fancy shoes or anything like that. But best purchase, just love them. So.
And as long as you've had your money's worth out of them, that's what matters. I think sometimes when something is expensive, it's about then getting it on and wearing it rather than going, oh no, I couldn't, it's precious because it was expensive.
Exactly. And I'm one of those people, like every time I wear something, if it's expensive, I'm like dividing that per wear. I need to like break it down and be like, oh, I've worn it 10 times. It's very cheap now. So it's just a bad.
Yeah. Actually super affordable. This was a really good idea. Well done, me. Is there a dream fashion item that you don't already own that you would love to have, regardless of cost or how attainable it actually is?
This one's quite tricky. I do think it's not really like a specific thing I want, but I really want a custom pair of cowboy boots. I come back to this all the time. I've not seen the ones that I want existing in the world, but I just know that one day I'm going to splurge on the like stupidest cowboy boots you've ever seen. And I think that's just my path, to be honest. I think that's what I need to do. But yeah, when I was thinking about it, I thought, I actually don't think I have like something I really lust over because generally like big designer items, I would rather just, like I said, get more for my money and shop around and get something a bit more unique rather than a big ticket item.
I like that though. I like that. I can't wait to see them when they suddenly appear in your life. And do you have any fashion advice that you would have given to your younger self?
Fashion advice I would give to my younger self. Yes. Every t-shirt you own probably looks better if you wear it backwards. Don't know why. It's true. The cut of it is just more flattering. That's a good thing to know. And also, I would say, just step away from the scissors. You don't know what you're doing. Get some lessons, some qualifications, and maybe try again. That's what I would say.
Leave your mother's wardrobe alone.
For God's sake, she doesn't deserve it.
Oh my goodness, it's been so lovely chatting with you. I love the vibrancy and the variety of your wardrobe. And I think you've got the hardest challenge ahead of you, deciding what on earth you're going to pack to go traveling.
I know. Well, me and my flatmates, like one of them was like good cop, one was bad cop. And we laid out everything that I want to take. And I had to go around and explain why I need each one. And if it wasn't good enough, no, you don't need it. Please. So yeah, it's definitely a capsule wardrobe. Tell you what the worst part is, 2 pairs of shoes for 3 months. 2 pairs.
What shoes are they? What are you taking?
So I've taken one Birkenstock, essential,
Classic.
and New Balance 530s because they're the comfiest like dad trainer ever. I'm going to be doing a lot of walking, and that's it. I fell ill when I realised, and everybody else says you can take a third one, which is a thong flip-flop. Doesn't even count. Does not even count. What they're referring to is a shower shoe, which doesn't count. So honestly, it's going to be a shock to the system. Nobody thinks I'm going to be able to do this, and yeah, me neither, to be honest. But
my goodness, I wouldn't cope. I wouldn't cope. I am pretty good at packing, but I am not good at sacrificing the shoe choices. That would be
for me. Yeah, it pushes you over the edge, and it's also the liquids allowance is not great because they're the heaviest thing. So it's going to be interesting, but that's why I'm going to document it all, because I think I haven't really seen much content around of a high maintenance girly going backpacking, and it's probably because they tend not to do it. But I just thought it could be funny to watch me suffer, so why not document?
I think it's going to be the best series ever. I am very much looking forward to all of this content. When do you go?
I go in 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, have the best time. Good luck with the packing. And remember, you can always buy extra things when you're out there and then post them home to yourself.
So true. So true. I'll get things made.
Exactly. You see, that would be my problem. It's when you go out to places like that, it's having loads of things made and then going, now I need to try and get this home.
Yeah, literally. But I did see you can actually get custom cowboy boots made, not to just loop that back around, but in Bali there's some way you can get them made, so watch this.
Maybe it's fate. Maybe this is the destiny. It was all about this trip. This is why you're going to suffer, because then eventually you're going to get them boots as the reward.
Absolutely, and it'll all be worth it.
It'll be worth it. Thank you so much for being part of Off the Hanger.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.